Morning, and it's WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, WCCSradio.com. She is Nicole Sipos, Indiana Borough Manager, joins us. Our conversation is brought to you by Marcus & Mack, voted best personal injury law firm in the Best of Indiana County contest. Marcus & Mack, a law firm representing injured people. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
It's good to have you back with us here today. It's not as if there's never anything going on in downtown Indiana, huh?
No.
Or in Indiana as a whole.
Yes, and we try to keep everybody up to date on our Facebook page and with social media and that, but it is constantly changing with we're working with the water company, we're working with PennDOT, we're working with the gas company. There's so much going on.
I know.
Yeah, and unfortunately, if the weather, changes, then they change the date that they're going to be here working at night. But we ask people just to be patient. When this is all said and done, we'll have new gas lines, new water lines, paved roads. Once that work's done, then the roads will be repaved. So we'll try. We're trying our best to keep everything up to date on our Facebook.
I think part of the problem is people don't anticipate that a project like this is going to take the amount of time that it takes. But there's some tremendous work that has to be done just in order to get set to lay that line. Right.
And if something gets delayed, if the pipe doesn't come in, or if there's if they run into other problems if they hit another line, and things have happened. When they were doing South 7th Street, they ran into some issues. But again, there's always it's never a clear, easy, smooth sailing. It seems like
it's not a one-day process. I think that's what we're saying here.
Yeah.
And it takes It takes a lot of time to make your way through this town. But then when you add that into it. You're right. Patience is the word. And you really need to exercise some patience here and some understanding that those folks, they don't want to hold you up.
No, we'll get through it. But I do have good news. We had our public works meeting, and I know we have residents calling in and asking about limb pickup, and we have a set date for that. So, in the next couple of weeks, if everybody gets their yard cleaned up, and our limb pickup will start October 9th, that week of October 9th. And that will run the day after your trash pickup. So whatever day you're scheduled for your trash, then you can put your limbs out to the curb.
And this is limbs, not leaves.
This is limbs. Leaves will be in November.
Yes.
So we go right from limbs to leaves, and right now the leaves are already changing and falling. So I know.
Don't remind us of that.
But we just asked that the 6-inch in diameter, that will help for limb wise. For the to put out to the curb, so they can run it through a chipper. They're going to be finishing up potholes this week. And then, like I said, November, leaves will start. And then we're working on our fall planting list. Our shade tree in our parks department is working on replacing some and filling in some of the trees that need planted. One thing we ran into some trouble is when we have newly planted trees on Philly Street or on the side streets, we ask, kids, adults, not to touch or break the limbs, because that's obviously killing the trees. We had some trees that were damaged.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so unfortunately, if you're walking through town, and your kids, try to get them not to hang on the limbs and break the limbs, because it does damage and kills the trees.
Yeah.
And trees are expensive.
Yes, they are. But this is the time of the year to plant them.
Yes. We're going to be working on the 1000 block of Philly down in front of Knapp's and the Chamber building, and then South 7th Street. So we're looking to plant, I think 30 trees is the goal.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That's a good bet.
Yeah, so there'll be a lot of newly planted trees. So we just ask that people try to not touch them. Tree grates are coming in. IRMC Park has all new tree grates. If anybody's been up by IRMC Park, take a look at the tree grates. Yeah. They look really nice. Trying to come up with a plan for IRMC Vinegar Hill. We're going to probably form a group to see who wants to, have input of what can be done up there. We're hearing everything from solar panels to tearing it off. We have lots of ideas.
Sure.
So
sure.
it's just going to be
and there you're talking about what to do with the vegetation that grows on the hillside there.
Yes. Yeah. So that's been the topic of, conversation in the last couple meetings.
More goats.
More goats if we could. Yeah, the goats unfortunately went home, but everybody loved the goats. We have to find another place for them to come back next year.
Did you see the thing? I don't know. It wasn't here. I don't even think it was in this country. A bunch of lambs broke into a medical marijuana place where they were growing a greenhouse where they were growing marijuana. So these lambs broke in and had a whole flock of sheep that was pretty well stoned out of their minds because they ate all the marijuana plants.
Well, thank goodness that didn't happen around here.
Yeah, you're right about that. So those are some of the things that Indiana Borough is dealing with. And you're at the same time, you're getting ready for the winter season.
We're getting ready for winter season. We're getting ready, and this will be an ongoing topic. We're getting ready for a huge renovation in our building. We're going to be relocating temporarily across the street. And then we're trying to come up with an idea of what the next council meetings and committee meetings will look like, because we're reducing from 12 members to 8 members, and we're trying to see what we're going to do for the committee meetings and how they're going to be held. And
Yeah. You mean in terms of moving out of the building and into the next one, or just long term?
In long term, well, temporarily we're going to be out of the building, and then long term, like a set schedule of how we want to see the meeting structures held. Yeah. So right now we have, a council meeting or work session and 4 committee meetings. So with 12 council members, that works with that committee structure.
Sure.
But reducing down to 8 members and keeping,
that's
the
some
4
extra work
plus the commissions. Yeah, that's a lot of meetings. So we're trying to come up with the best scenario to hold those meetings and still make it available to the public, and with having transparency and everything.
Yeah. All right. So, and you'll work those things out.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are other towns that have the same governance model that you can look to and see what they're doing.
Absolutely. And that's what we kind of started this process when we talked about restructuring the council. We did look at the other towns and how they did process their council members. So
yeah.
We're working on it.
Working that out, and eventually you'll come to a solution that I'm sure works for everybody.
Yep.
All right. So other issues for Indiana Borough. I note as well, and folks can check this out, that the borough has a wonderful program where you put up the COVID numbers from the sewage treatment plant.
Yes.
And since the pandemic started, we've been looking at those every month just to get a look to see what the trend is, and we can still do that, and I think that's a wonderful service.
Yeah, so our sewage plant has been working doing wastewater surveillance program, and they're in joint with IUP, and they do the testing, and but it's all run through our sewage plant. Yeah, it's a great program, and actually, I believe it was like last year when Roland Francis, he kind of heads that program. He was in talking about it, so I think we need to bring him back in. I'm talking about it some more.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea.
Yeah,
we'll get him in here.
Yeah,
at some point. Anything else that's going on in Indiana Borough we need to point out to folks?
No, not right now. It's just still construction season. Just like I said, we talked about it, be patient,
Got the plows hung on the trucks yet, or
no, not yet. We're going to have a winter like last year.
You think? You hope.
Yeah.
You hope that will be the case. But we'll have to get the plows hung, and we'll have to get the spreaders all checked out. I'm sure that over the course of the off season, they've been working on those. And
they're a lot of maintenance. Maintenance time. Some, again, right now they're just busy doing potholes, trying to finish up some paving and get through it.
Good work.
Sidewalk program is huge. Again, if anybody's interested in learning more about funding that we have available for sidewalks, please call our code department. It has been a huge success. You see great sidewalks all through town now.
Folks are really embracing
taking advantage of it. Yes.
Sure. Well, that's a great thing. That really is. And that's for anybody within borough limits. It doesn't have to be in a certain street or a certain neighborhood.
That's correct. And businesses, residents, churches, anybody can apply.
Those of you who have trees in front of your house that have uprooted your sidewalk panels, why that's what that's all about. You
and
can
we
get
still
those
have
fixed.
we still have a tree program too, that if your tree is in the right of way and it needs removed, we'll pay percentage of those trees to come down too. So,
That's good stuff.
Yeah,
good stuff.
Lots of programs.
Call Nicole and she'll fix you up. Nicole, thanks for the visit today.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. It is the voice of Indiana County. It's WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, and WCCSradio.com. Coming up, Jake is in the newsroom at the bottom of the hour, a couple of moments away from now. It's 25 minutes after 9 o'clock, and the CBS Sports Next. It's brought to you by S&T Bank, People Forward Banking.
Just the usual for me. I'm barely awake.
I'll have a pumpkin spice latte.
Ooh, maybe I should spice things up.
A double shot?
Bigger.
A triple shot? You'll be awake all night.
What if I finally took time off of work, hopped on a plane, headed to that stunning destination I've always talked about, and had the biggest adventure of my life?
Spice up your life this season with a trip you've always dreamed of. With an S&T Home Equity Total line of credit, nothing stands in the way of getting there.
Do you still want your coffee?
S&T Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
This is Boomer Esiason with the CBS Sports Minute, sponsored by FanDuel Sportsbook. Make every moment more. Today's birthday shout-out goes to 98-year-old Bobby Shantz. Here's a tribute to the last living member of the original Philadelphia A's. The 5'6" southpaw was the 1952 American League MVP and won a World Series with the 1958 Yankees. I'm Boomer Esiason.